primary ways a country expresses its identity is through its art. And this season, Hefel is extremely proud to offer important and immense expressions of the Canadian identity, from its very beginnings to its defining moments. Beginning with Cornelius Krieghoff, we have our earliest depictions of Canada. In the Toll Gate, once owned by Kenneth Thomson, one of Canada's most esteemed collectors, we have a boisterous scene full of historical detail.
But during the 19th century, art movements were exported from Europe across the globe, as artists everywhere would gravitate towards the centers of London and Paris. Montreal-born Helen McNicoll studied in France and England, and we can clearly see the influence of Impressionism in her work in the bucolic scenes dappled with sunlight.
In Happy Moments, we have Helen McNicoll at her Impressionist best, with children lounging and playing in full, rich sunlight.
During the time that James Wilson Maurice lived in Europe, the continent had moved into post-Impressionism, and we can clearly see that influence being traced through his work over the years. In 1905, he participated in the now infamous Salon d'Automne, the Fauvist Salon, and he eventually met Matisse, the most famous Fauvist, and he ended up going on sketching trips with him.
We have 3 exquisite and intimate works from his time in Brittany, including La Foire à Carcanot, circa 1910. Additionally, we have the evocative A Bathing Coat Trinidad from his important final period, showcasing his wandering pencil lines. Maurice was an important influence on many Canadian artists, but this is especially true of Clarence Gagnon. His influence can be felt in the exquisite study Paris, circa 1908. It features Gagnon's first wife, Catherine Irwin, posed in a kimono, and carries in it the major pre-World War I influence of Japanese culture that was sweeping Europe.
Gagnon's panel, Les Éboulements Ice Harvest, is an en plein air study for a larger canvas, and subject-wise is a classic example of Quebec Impressionism. Perhaps his equal at painting light and snow, it was Suzer Côté, and this canvas, fresh to the market from an important Montreal collection, Rivière des Gels, is a masterpiece. Rendered in gorgeous teals and purples, this canvas was included in his largest ever touring retrospective and is, again, a classic example of Quebec Impressionism.
Another bridge between Europe and Canada that can be found are the breakthroughs experienced in Brittany by Emily Carr. Cottage St. Ephlem and the beautiful Woman Knitting Repose No. 3 are absolutely key examples from this moment. They speak directly to the transformative changes in color choice that she underwent in this important time.
Certainly, Carr's exposure to post-Impressionism radically altered her color palette and enabled her to paint what she felt about BC's landscape. Later in 1927, when she met the Group of Seven and Lauren Harris, she was given the confidence to go even further, and it culminated in a lyrical and forceful encounter with British Columbia's landscape. The late 1920s and 30s, now considered Emily Carr's celebrated late classic period, are among the towering achievements of expressionistic painting in the 20th century. We have 4 examples from this period, which we're proud to share in our auction, including the rare and beautiful canvas Shoreline.
Carr's Ontario contemporaries feature heavily in the sale, with works from some of Canada's most beloved artists. Beginning with Yvonne Hauser's double-sided canvas, Miners, Shacks, Cobalt, Mullins, we have one of the most important examples of Hauser's work to ever be offered at auction. Boasting an incredible exhibition history, this work was featured in not 1, but 2 recent exhibitions at the McMichael, 2021's Uninvited and 2023's Cobalt.
Leading our Group of 7 works are 4 lovely sketches by Lauren Harris, including 2 pre-1920 Algoma sketches full of color and joy, and a 1923 Lake Superior sketch, and a 1924 sketch of Athabasca Valley, Jasper Park, both of these featuring the iconic Canadian lone tree motif.
We are also excited to have exceptional examples from A.J. Casson, including Holiday Island and Midwinter Day. Both from his key mid-career period, they show Casson at his most inventive. The earlier example of Lighthouse at Bronte, 1927, and the later canvas October Morning, Redmond Bay, show the consistently high quality Casson had throughout his career.
A.Y. Jackson's Barn in Winter and Street in Quebec are two prime period, early Jackson sketches of his beloved treatment of rural Quebec. Alongside his sketch of Lake Athabasca, lovingly detailed with figures and homes, are two canvases, April in the Laurentians and Moon Bay, which show off his confident, honed style. Our centerpiece among the Jackson works is his 1927 canvas, Night on the Skeena River, a canvas which Jackson himself described as among the best canvases he'd ever painted. The work comes from the important trip that he took along with Marius Barbeau and Edwin Holgate in 1926 up the Skeena River Valley in northern BC. This canvas was exhibited in the foundational 1927 exhibition at the National Gallery, West Coast Art, Native and Modern.
As noted by many art historians and even the artists themselves, a guiding and unifying influence on the group of seven was Thomson. His impact on painting in Canada is essential, and we're thrilled to have three important oil sketches from his poetic final period. Each one depicts his most important subject, Algonquin Park. With Canoe Lake Algonquin Park, Dawn on Round Lake, and Autumn Algonquin Park, our sale features three distinct and stunning examples from Thomson's towering final period. Together, they showcase the modernity and resonance that has led Thomson to become one of Canada's most beloved and iconic artists.
Last but certainly not least, in addition to the trio of works by Thomson, are three canvases that come from the University Club of Toronto. A watershed moment in the history of Heffel. These group period canvases represent a generational opportunity. Lauren Harris's Northern Lake, Franklin Carmichael's Leaf Patterns, Arthur Lismer's McGregor Bay Islands. Each of these canvases boast incredible exhibition histories, sterling provenance, and are among the finest group period canvases to ever appear at auction.
We're extremely proud of each and every work in the sale, and we look forward to offering them on May 22nd.